keeps you stuck, doesn't it? You feel it when you're unsure about taking the next step, questioning your choices, or second-guessing yourself. But here's the truth. That doubt is the one thing holding you back from living the life you truly want. In this video, we're calling out the fears that keep you trapped and showing you how to break free. Because when you face your doubts head-on, you unlock the freedom to move forward. Watch now and step into a life without limits. Eckhart Tolle, in his groundbreaking book, The Power of Now, speaks profoundly about the transformative power of the present moment. He explains that our minds often keep us trapped in patterns of suffering and doubt, reminding us that the primary cause of unhappiness is never the situation but your thoughts about it. When we shift our awareness away from these thought patterns and towards the present, we begin to break free from the limits we've imposed upon ourselves. This is the first step in awakening the power that lies dormant within you. Tolle's teachings show us that to truly change our lives, we must first change the way we interact with our thoughts. The answer is not in future accomplishments or past regrets. It's in the now. If you're truly committed to your personal growth, now's the perfect moment to take action. Subscribe to our channel Motivation Basics and like this video if you're committed to improving every day. Don't keep this to yourself and share it with someone who's ready to break through their own barriers today. Let's stop talking and start doing this together. Yogananda Ji once questioned his guru, "Is it possible for thoughts to correct my congenital weaknesses?" Because he had a hard time dealing with his weakened digestion and general fragility. "Am I able to control the amount of force my muscles exert? Your belief is the root of your weakness, Mukunda," his guru said, in a straightforward yet profound manner. If you want to alter your reality, alter your self-perception. Awakening a strength beyond your wildest dreams is within your reach, just as it was for Yogananda Ji, who miraculously altered his weak physique via the power of belief. To start, you must understand that the power you desire is dormant inside you, just waiting to be unleashed by means of deliberate intention, unwavering belief, and self-awareness. The inner strength to overcome any obstacle can be awakened when we cease to connect with our present limitations and start to acknowledge our innate power. As Eckhart Tolle notes, realize deeply that the present moment is all you have. Make the now the primary focus of your life. This is where true transformation begins, not in the past where your doubts began, nor in the future where your doubts began, nor in the future where your fears lie, but right here, right now. The present moment is where your power resides, waiting for you to wake up to it. Doesn't matter what culture or philosophy you adhere to, the idea that our thoughts determine our world is a universal truth. It's not just a spiritual concept. It's a way of life that can improve our circumstances in every way. The way we think has a significant impact on many aspects of our lives, including our health, our relationships, and our professional success. Even if most of us don't realize it, our thoughts and self-beliefs are shaping our reality every moment. For a long time, this idea has been debated by philosophers, religious leaders, and contemporary thinkers. Exploring the mind's transformational capacity is central to a yogi's teachings. The yogi frequently preached about how our mental, emotional, and spiritual health may improve dramatically if we could learn to control our thoughts and direct them toward calmness, awareness, and faith. Think about it. His life is a perfect illustration of how ideas become reality. His health was severely impaired when he encountered a personal crisis. He had little success with conventional therapy. His health began to improve once he made a mental adjustment, which he accomplished through practices like meditation and affirmations. The yogi overcame his illness by assuming an empowered mental state and concentrating on recovery. This exemplifies how our ideas may influence our physical world. Tolle's wisdom echoes this truth. You are not the mind, he asserts. inviting us to detach from the overwhelming identification with our thoughts. Once we stop identifying with our thoughts, we open up a space to recognize our true power. When we let go of the patterns that have controlled us for so long, we begin to live from a place of clarity and strength, free from the constant noise of mental distractions. Sometimes feels like there's no end in sight to the physical problems that plague many of us. The part that our thought habits play in making these problems worse or better is, however, frequently disregarded. For example, stress-related disorders like headaches, gastrointestinal problems, or sleep disruptions may manifest in a person who is perpetually concerned about their health. This person may dwell on potential maladies or imagine the worst-case scenario. A new outlook, according to the yogi's method, could bring about significant recovery. For instance, the yogi used meditation and affirmations to center his thoughts toward health and recovery. He chose to imagine himself well again and put his faith in his body's ability to recover, rather than accepting his illness as inevitable. His physical recovery was aided by this mental transformation in the end. This aligns with Tolle's idea that the mind is a superb instrument if used rightly. Used wrongly, however, it becomes very destructive. Shifting our perception from helplessness to empowerment changes not just our mental state, but our physical reality as well. Not only can our thoughts affect our physical well-being, but they also influence our professional and personal aspirations. Our perceptions of our strengths and possibilities can either encourage us or discourage us. Beliefs like "I'll never be successful in my career" or "I'm not good enough for that promotion" can influence a person's behavior or lack thereof. They may not even bother to apply for the job or take the vital risks because they don't believe they have what it takes to be successful. According to the yogi, we have the power to alter the course of our lives just by altering our perspective. At one point in his career, he felt like he was stuck. There were few new chances, and his job seemed stagnant. He started to believe that opportunities would present themselves at the right time rather than giving in to feelings of inadequacy or frustration. Patience, visualization, and optimistic thinking were practices he persisted in. As time went on, more and more possibilities presented themselves, proving that optimism breeds prosperity. This aligns with Tolle's words: "The greatest achievement is the awakening of consciousness. When we begin to see ourselves as capable and deserving of success, the world begins to reflect that back to us." Particularly harmful is negative thinking, which frequently traps us in a loop of self-doubt and restrictive ideas. Telling ourselves over and over, "I'll never succeed," or "I can't do this," causes us to believe those negative thoughts and feelings. Our limiting ideas shape our world and impact our behaviors, or lack thereof. This is exactly what Tolle warns against in his book A New Earth. "The more you are identified with the ego, the more you are controlled by it," he writes. It's in these moments of negative self-talk and ego-driven doubt that we forget our true power. The key is to detach from these thoughts, observe them without judgment, and choose to shift our focus to the present, the only place where change can truly begin. When we break free from these mental traps, we open ourselves up to the vast possibilities of who we can become. You don't need to wait for a dramatic shift in circumstances to realize your full potential. Change you seek is already within you, waiting for you to recognize it. Now the question is, are you ready to step into that power, challenge your limiting beliefs, and unlock a version of yourself that's stronger, wiser, and more capable than ever before? Tolle's words echo this. You are not a problem that needs to be solved. Let go of the false identities you've clung to, the limitations you've accepted, and the fears that have kept you from moving forward. The present moment is all you need to transform your life. Step into it and unlock the power that's been waiting for you all along. The yogi had a keen awareness of the influence that pessimistic ideas could have on one's life. He would force himself to face any negative thought that arose, like doubts about his healing abilities. Whenever negativity emerged, he countered it by visualizing strength and health, using affirmations to reshape his mental framework. By consistently confronting these destructive thoughts, he was able to break free from the mental prison that many of us unknowingly construct around ourselves. In order to conquer self-doubt, it's crucial to first recognize the limitations we've set in our minds. Self-awareness of our negative thought patterns is key to transforming our outlook. Much like the yogi, we too can replace limiting beliefs with empowering ones. For example, we can shift from thinking, "I'm not good enough," to a more constructive thought, like, "I am capable of growth and change." By simply noticing our thoughts, we create the space to choose a different path. Before we can change our reality, we must first observe how our thoughts shape it. Unfortunately, many people go through life without realizing the impact of their thoughts on their experiences. First step toward true change is self-awareness. Learning to observe thoughts without getting emotionally attached to them. As we begin to notice our thought patterns, we can distinguish between what's helpful and what's harmful. In his teachings, Eckhart Tolle explains that true power lies in the present moment. In his book, The Power of Now, he writes, "Realize deeply that the present moment is all you ever have." The yogi's journey to enlightenment echoes this sentiment. He was able to control his emotions and thoughts by practicing mindfulness and meditation, staying grounded in the present moment. This practice allowed him to discern when his thoughts were aligned with his goals and when they were not. Much like the yogi, we can cultivate this awareness in our own lives, bringing us back to the present moment where peace resides. Mindfulness isn't just a spiritual practice. It's a tool that can be applied to everyday life. It can be as simple as taking a few deep breaths, practicing gratitude, or observing your thoughts without judgment. When we shift our perspective from one of fear and limitation to one of openness and possibility, we unlock a whole new world. As Eckhart Tolle suggests, when you are present, you can begin to experience a new state of consciousness, a state that is free of time and free of the stories of the mind. Real world transformations often begin with a shift in perspective. Take someone struggling with addiction or serious illness. At first, they may feel trapped in their pain, convinced that it will never end. But when they begin to shift their mindset, believing in their own capacity to heal, evolve, and grow, their life begins to change. This shift from victimhood to empowerment is precisely what Eckhart Tolle describes in his book, A New Earth. You are not your mind. You are not your mind. You are the knowing, the awareness, the presence behind the mind. The yogi's transformation mirrors this truth. By changing his mindset, he was able to transcend his previous limitations, just as countless others have triumphed over their struggles by changing how they view themselves. Though it's difficult, it's possible to break free from the cycle of negative thinking and step into a space of personal empowerment. Facing the stories we tell ourselves is an essential step in unlocking our inner strength. We all have stories from our past that influence how we see the world. Perhaps they are tales of rejection, failure, or inadequacy. Stories that we've carried with us for years. But what if those stories aren't true? What if they are simply old narratives that no longer serve our growth? By confronting and challenging these stories, we can begin to rewrite them with truth and possibility. Eckhart Tolle addresses this concept of story in The Power of Now, saying, "The past has no power over the present moment." This realization is key to transforming our inner world. When we stop identifying with our past and let go of old stories, we open ourselves up to new possibilities. This freedom from the past allows us to live in the present, where true power lies. Another crucial aspect of building inner strength is embracing discomfort. Growth doesn't happen in a comfort zone. It happens when we push beyond our limits. Obstacles, setbacks, and failures, though painful, are often the very things that allow us to tap into hidden reserves of courage and resilience. When we face challenges head-on, we have the opportunity to see what we're really made of. Instead of avoiding discomfort, we can ask ourselves, what can I learn from this situation? How can I grow stronger through it? Eckhart Tolle teaches that the more we resist discomfort, the more we suffer. In The Power of Now, he writes, "Whatever you think the world is withholding from you, you are withholding from the world. This includes the strength and peace we seek. The more we resist the difficulties that life presents, the more we remain trapped. But when we embrace challenges as opportunities for growth, we transform them into catalysts for personal evolution." Gratitude is one of the most powerful ways to unlock inner strength. By focusing on what we're grateful for, we shift our perspective from scarcity to abundance, from lack to potential. In A New Earth, Eckhart Tolle writes, "Acknowledging the good that you already have in your life is the foundation for all abundance." Gratitude creates an optimistic outlook, which fuels resilience and perseverance. When we learn to appreciate what we have, no matter how small, we activate a sense of inner peace and strength that helps us face any challenge. Surrounding yourself with positive influences is another way to accelerate your personal growth. The people you spend time with, the stories you hear, and the information you absorb all shape your self-perception. By choosing to engage with supportive people and uplifting resources, you can strengthen your sense of self-worth and access your hidden potential. As Eckhart Tolle puts it, the primary cause of unhappiness is never the situation, but your thoughts about it. Lastly, the way we think affects our relationships. If we believe that we are unlovable or misunderstood, we may unconsciously create situations that validate those beliefs. The yogi emphasized the importance of self-love, teaching that we cannot have healthy relationships with others until we first love ourselves. Similarly, Eckhart Tolle teaches that true love comes when we release our egoic attachments and embrace the present moment. As he writes in A New Earth, when you become aware of the egoic mind, you can begin to see through it and be free of it. That's when true love emerges. As we've seen, it's not external circumstances, but rather our own thoughts and beliefs that shape our reality. Wisdom from spiritual teachers like Paramahansa Yogananda and Eckhart Tolle shows us that we have the power to change our lives simply by changing our perspectives. Self-awareness is the key to unlocking our inner strength. By recognizing that our true potential is not determined by our current circumstances, we can overcome any obstacle and tap into the power that has always resided within us. All it takes is a conscious decision to shift our perspective and align our thoughts with possibility. This path of self-improvement isn't a distant ideal. It's a real, tangible process that transforms our lives in profound ways. Through practices like meditation, mindfulness, and self-awareness, we can overcome fear, rewrite our personal stories, and realize our full potential. The time to begin is now. Stop wasting time and make every moment count in your life. Subscribe to Motivation Basics for daily motivational videos on personal growth. Show your commitment by liking the video and commenting the word GROW. Be sure to share it with someone who needs to slow down in life. We're in this together.